Hello everyone, my name is Fedro and this is Cozy Veggie, and on this channel we cover a variety of things such as video essays, reviews, JRPGs, and all things cozy gaming. Now, in the past couple years, gaming has been one of my favorite pastimes. It's definitely a medium that I love to go to escape from the craziness and hecticness that is life. But when it comes to gaming, I think for me, there's a few games out there that give me a great sense of healing. It refreshes me and honestly sometimes either motivates me or just gives me a good pick-me-up. So today I wanted to share with you guys a few of my favorite comfort games that give me a great sense of healing. However, I'm not alone in this. Today I'm collaborating with a few of my fellow friends and content creators here on YouTube to share their favorite comfort games as well. So without further ado, let's get on to the video.
Hi everyone, Mandy here. Thank you so much, Veggie, for having me on your channel today. Now, when I sat down to think about what video games bring me the most comfort, the first one that came to mind was Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. If you're unfamiliar, Ace Attorney is a series of visual novel puzzle games in which you play as a defense attorney named Phoenix Wright. Each game has about 4 or 5 murder cases where Phoenix must conduct investigations and then prove his client's innocence in a suspenseful and oftentimes wacky court trial. Now, Ace Attorney is one of my favourite series of all time, and it has definitely helped me through some tough periods of my life. I played it for the first time on Nintendo DS in my last year of high school, and I fell in love with it very fast and very hard. The beautiful thing about Ace Attorney is that it finds a way to expertly balance comedic relief and lightheartedness into a storyline that can be absolutely heart-wrenching at times. And I think that's what makes it such a comforting game to me. It's a story I can connect with on a deeper emotional level that at the same time feels incredibly happy and warm. It has a cast of characters that are all very well written and very dear to my heart. So much so that whenever I revisit the game, it almost feels like returning to old friends, as silly as that may sound. And the series itself is full of uplifting messages like "A dragon never yields" and "The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over." I'm not a lawyer, but those are mantras I've definitely fallen back on from time to time, and I've always found them very motivating. Each of the games have this strong theme of resilience and teach us how important it is to keep fighting for what's right in the face of adversity. And it's for those reasons that I know I can always count on Ace Attorney to cheer me up when I'm feeling low.
Hey guys, Nishquick here. So, the game that gave me healing, that's a tough question, but it is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but when I played it for the first time, I didn't realize how much the game would mean to me in the years following my completion of the game. Let me talk to you guys a little bit about that. My experience with Xenoblade 2, it was just a roller coaster of emotions, but all in all, I loved the ending of the game so much. And ever since the announcement of 3 and Future Redeemed, my appreciation for Xenoblade 2 just got more and more special to me. My appreciation for Xenoblade 2 became more and more special, and the reason is because friendship is something I value a lot in my life. Whether it's friends I have right now who mean a lot to me, or friends who I once knew who I don't talk to much anymore. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 really reminds me of that value of friendship and how much it means to me, because these characters are a very close, tight-knit group of people, and even when they're going through some of the toughest hardships in their life, they know that each and every single one of their friends has got their back. And that means a lot to me, and a lot of the characters and a lot of the moments and a lot of the interactions in Xenoblade 2 really remind me of my own friends in my life, and as silly as that sounds, that is the case. And I love when games remind me of specific moments and specific people in my life, and it really makes me relate to the characters in the game a lot. So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I'm feeling a little sad about things, I think about the beautiful moments in that game, because that is the one game that can actually put tears in my eyes and make me remember all the good and happy moments in my life with my friends, and make me realize how thankful I am to have some amazing friends right now in my life. Thank you so much, Cozy Veggie, for having me on this collab. And if you guys enjoy Nintendo and RPG games, check out my channel, Niche Quick Pops. I talk about all that kinds of stuff, and I talk about Xenoblade a lot. So if you guys enjoy Xenoblade, check me out. Thank you so much again for having me, and I'm excited to check out this video once it's out.
Hi, this is Emily from Orbology, and thank you so much, Pedro, for inviting me to be part of your video, where I get to gush about one of my favorite games that has provided me a lot of healing over the years, and that is none other than Hades. So Hades is a highly regarded roguelike game that has won a ton of awards over the years, and I think for a good reason. And it came at a very good time in my life where I needed some sort of outlet to let out all my stress and kind of transitioning from finishing up grad school and joining the workforce. And when you factor in all the events that happened between 2020 and 2021, I think all of us could say that was a very highly stressful time in all of our lives. I was a little intimidated at first because this was the first game I have ever played in this genre, but I love how rewarding it was, even after experiencing death. I really love how deep the story gets once you start experiencing a few different runs, and just how interesting so many of these well-known characters from Greek mythology have come to life through Supergiant's vision. But the thing that really resonated the most with me, especially when experiencing this very intimidating genre for the first time, was how unpunishing it was, and also how encouraging it was to continue running through multiple playthroughs and growing stronger each time you fall down. And that playstyle just really resonated with me, especially at that time where I was just throwing out job applications left and right. And the message of just perseverance and growing stronger each time you fall down, I think, was really the message I needed to hear at that time. This is also why I like to go back to Hades from time to time, just so that I could re-listen to this message. And whenever I'm failing a bunch of times and just falling down, just know that those will only make me stronger, and I could come back much more powerful the next time I try.
One of my favorite comfort games is a game called Journey. This is an indie adventure game. You play as a robed figure who travels through this vast, beautiful, and mysterious environment as you make your way to a mountain that is shining and calling to you in the distance. This game is all about evoking different emotions through music and colors throughout the gameplay. And as you play, you discover your own purpose and history as you make your way to your destination. This is one of those games that made me understand video games as an art form. I found this game in a very special, positive period of my life, and I continue to come back to it periodically to play it again and again. The gameplay feels to me like some kind of meditative experience with very simple but intriguing design and incredible music that dynamically responds to the gameplay. I also think that it's great that your character is pretty faceless and genderless, so you can really project yourself onto them regardless of who you are. And what I love the most about this game is that, in my opinion, it represents the hero's journey in such a beautiful way and allows the player to interpret and apply the journey to anything that might be going on in their lives. Every time I get through this video game, I get a feeling of empowerment, and it helps me remember that I can get through anything in my own personal life. Another cool feature about this game is that you can play alone or you can play online with strangers, where you randomly meet other players in the same journey as you are, and you can assist each other. But the cool part about it is that you cannot communicate with them with speech or text or even see their usernames until the end screen of the gameplay. The only form of communication that you have is this music chime. The developers sought to evoke in the player a sense of smallness and wonder, and to form an emotional connection between you and the anonymous players that you meet throughout the game. And it's just a very pure, human, kind interaction that just warms my heart. I cannot recommend this game enough. One of my favorite games of all time.
Hey guys, Jay from Cold Nights here. And when Veggie asked me what game has helped me heal or brings me comfort, my obvious choice had to be Hyrule Warriors. When Princess Zelda has dark dreams that foretell a terrible fate for Hyrule, who you gonna call? Why, every character of importance from every game in the series to date, that's who. Heroes and villains from across the time and space of the Zelda universe come together in Hyrule Warriors. The game has a long and storied release history, with its iterations spanning 2 consoles and 1 handheld. Even more than many other Musou crossovers, The massive selection of levels, characters, storylines, and game modes truly delivers a complete experience for the franchise. With characters, story bits, and alternate costumes from even the newer games like Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild, and incredible new characters made just for this release, like Sia, Lana, and Linkle, there is always something new and relevant to experience. Add in fun adventure maps from each release, and a fun fairy power-up and dress-up system, and you have a truly memorable experience. The beauty of the experience is that the simple, engaging, yet varied combat is something that can be enjoyed for hours on end. With the final iteration, the definitive edition on Switch, the level caps were extended significantly and many new challenges were added. Being able to fully immerse myself in grinding my favorite characters like Zelda, Linkle, Impa, and Skull Kid to insane levels while enjoying the smooth Zelda soundtrack helped me get through many a day where I was overwhelmed by my professional life, anxiety, or depression. My mind being allowed to wander in the world of Zelda through the ages absolutely helped it heal, but also helped me avoid overthinking and dwelling on the things that perpetually get me down. Truthfully, when dark forces are gathering for an invasion, whether it's of Hyrule or your mind, the characters and fulfilling gameplay in Hyrule Warriors can definitely save the day. Thank you for having me on, Veggie, and I look forward to seeing everyone else's picks.
It's Phil here from Phil One Up Collects. First off, I want to thank Veggie for including me in this collaboration. Really happy to be on the channel. So I thought long and hard about this question, and my choice may not be what most would choose when it comes to comfort in games, but I know it really helped me in my teen years, and that would be the Dragon Ball Z games on the PS2. When I was 10, I first discovered Dragon Ball while searching for something to watch on TV. I never saw animation like it before, but it wasn't until Cartoon Network and Toonami that I would be reintroduced to Goku as an adult, kicking major butt in Dragon Ball Z. The animation, voice acting, characters, the fast-paced action, and world-shattering special attacks sent a rush of adrenaline through my veins. Dragon Ball became a phenomenon worldwide, one of the most popular anime and manga series of all time. When they announced fighting games were coming out on the PS2, I was ecstatic. I remember racing to get home to play Budokai 1 for the first time, but it wasn't until Budokai 3 that I was really hooked. The improved cel-shading graphics, the new characters, an explorable overworld map, and all the new abilities, it was so awesome. But it was Budokai Tenkaichi 3 that took things, as Goku said best, further beyond, by changing the fighting into a massive arena where you could freely fly around, destroy the environment, explore Kami's house, go to Korn's tower, dive into the ocean, fly through space. There was so much to see and do. It had the biggest roster in any Dragon Ball game I ever played, starting from the beginning of the original series all the way to the end of Z, including the movie characters and GT. The anime and games helped me survive middle grade and high school. The stress you deal with growing up, changes to your body, trying to make friends, liking girls, making good grades. These games for a time let me release all my frustration, anxiety, and depression by going Super Saiyan and blasting a Kamehameha wave into Frieza's face. That's why I'm so excited the Budokai series is finally coming back. I really hope it rekindles the magic I felt on the PS2 and becomes one of the greatest Dragon Ball games ever. I may not agree with all of the decisions that they've done with the series over the years, but one thing's for sure, Dragon Ball Z will always have a special place in my heart, providing that healing I desperately needed in a difficult time, just like a senzu bean.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon from Just the Gems. Thank you so much, Veggie, for having me on. My comfort game might seem a bit weird, but bear with me. It's Xenogears for the PlayStation 1. So yeah, you're probably thinking, isn't Xenogears a super dark and heavy story about giant robots killing God or something? How can that be a comfort game? And you're not entirely wrong to think that. But Xenogears is something special to me for what it represents. I didn't have the best childhood, and my teenage years had all the usual angst you would expect in the best of circumstances, plus a bunch more. JRPGs had been my escape for most of my childhood, but I bet on the wrong horse and invested my money in an N64 instead of a PlayStation. That meant years without any new JRPGs for me. When I finally saved up enough to get a PlayStation, I knew exactly what game I wanted. I'd seen an ad for it. This ad, in fact, my wife bought it for me for Christmas one year because she knows how important it is to me. And it had captured my imagination like very few things had. Shortly after I purchased it, I had a friend stay over and we were up all night long playing through the opening hours of this game. It was some of the most fun I've ever had with a video game. At some point I dozed off and I remember waking up to sun streaming through the window and my friend level grinding in the sewers of Kislev. He didn't want to move the story forward without me, but he also didn't want to stop playing. And even now, when I replay it, and I do from time to time, it still fills me with a similar sort of warmth as it did back then. It's a very special game in a very special series, and it means a lot to me.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex, aka Quality, and thank you so much, Veggie, for having me be a part of this collab. This is a topic that means a lot to me personally, and I'm so excited to talk about one of my favorite comfort games over the years, Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. So the entire series is very, very special to me, but the second installment is truly the one that means the absolute most to me. And before we get into why, I want to talk about the game itself for a second. Like the other games in the series, Professor Layton and his assistant Luke are caught in the middle of a mystery, and it's up to them to solve it. In Diabolical Box, the professor and Luke decide to go pay a visit to their friend Dr. Schrader, who has recently come into the possession of the Elysian Box, a mysterious box who is said to kill anyone who opens it. However, when they arrive at Dr. Schrader's apartment, he's found unconscious and the box is nowhere to be seen. However, in its place is a ticket for the Momentary Express, so the professor and Luke decide to follow that lead and head towards the town of Full Sense, where it is said the box originated from. During their journey, the two end up solving plenty of puzzles, meeting a lot of wacky characters, and uncovering the deeper mysteries of the town of Full Sense. So it's a pretty good premise overall, and there's a lot that can be said about this game, from the music, the locations, the characters, the puzzles themselves, all of it. This game's wonderful. But the reason it means so much to me is a really, really personal one. So my grandpa was struggling with complications from pancreatic cancer, and my grandma decided to buy him a Nintendo DS in hopes of keeping him entertained while he was resting up. He was always a really, really big fan of puzzles and fell in love with this series immediately. We started playing the game together, and then we ended up finishing the whole game together. I eventually ended up also getting Diabolical Box, and we played that together too, sharing puzzle solutions and just tips for other different types of puzzles that each of us excelled at. So when he ultimately passed a few years later, I found myself returning to the game a lot. It was really, really comforting to go revisit some of the puzzles that I really loved or had struggled with and needed his help with, and just being reminded of those long nights spent playing this game and helping one another out with the puzzles. Even to this day, I still return to Diabolical Box. It's my absolute favorite in the series, and it really, really means a lot, and I think it's going to be a comfort game for me probably for the rest of my life.
Comfort game, without a shadow of a doubt, has to be Animal Crossing New Horizons. Animal Crossing New Horizons was a game that blossomed my love for gaming and also cozy gaming as a whole. I think Animal Crossing was a game that came out at the right time at the right place. Again, of course, we were in quarantine and in lockdown, so the opportunity or the chance to meet our friends or loved ones were pretty much non-existent. So being able to channel that longing and yearning for human interaction, or just interaction with anyone or anything, Animal Crossing was there for me, especially in a time where I was just trying to figure out what I was doing with my life, as I just was a recent graduate and entering the job market for the first time. A lot of things were really honestly unstable, and so being able to go to Animal Crossing where I could just escape from the craziness of the world and just be able to create new paths on my island, or create a new build on my island, or hang out with my villagers, or go to different islands and do villager hunts. The possibilities honestly felt endless when I was playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, and it's a game that I still to this day go back to and play over and over and over again. I never get bored of that game, and I know a lot of people who are Animal Crossing content creators or who really love the game may say otherwise, but to me, Animal Crossing is just a game that I know I can always go back to and know that I will enjoy my time. Whether I spend 30 minutes to an hour, I still enjoy my time, and it definitely gives me a great sense of joy, happiness, and a good sense of fulfillment too. So I just want to say thank you to all the people who took part in this collaboration. It really means a lot, and it would mean a lot if you guys who are watching to follow and subscribe all these people who are in this video. I will make sure to link all their socials and their YouTube pages in the description box below. They're really awesome people that make really awesome content that you should definitely watch as well. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and follow me as well on my social media platforms as well. And also comment down below, what is your favorite comfort game? Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye!